In this video, I'm going to be talking about how I improved my goal setting. I'm going to be assuming that you watched my last video that was about focus. If you haven't, I'm going to leave a card right there. This is going to be the 80-20 of exactly what works. So without further ado, let's just get straight into it. The way I improved my goal setting is by having a big goal. You need to ask yourself exactly what you want to do in a year, in 2 years, 5 years, or 10 years. And the longer you can keep pushing it back, the more dangerous your mindset becomes. Because people kind of underestimate exactly how much they can get done in 10 years, but people also really underestimate exactly how much they can change in their life in just 1 year if they really focus. But now I want you to take that big goal and then 10x it. And the reason behind that is very simple, because hard goals are going to be just as difficult as easy goals. So why not get the benefit of just making a big goal? If you want an example, here's an example. It's going to basically be about money. For example, say you want to make $1,000 a month because you're like, if I can make that much money, then I don't have to work my part-time job anymore. Why would you do that when you can just go and aim for 10K? I mean, they're both going to be difficult. Cool talk. So now that we set this very big goal, we need to start making small goals that will lead us there. These are basically going to be the actions and the tasks that you can complete that will get you a step closer to a big goal. Because if you really think about it, a big goal is just a combination of a bunch of small goals and then it leads you there. Every big goal is achievable. You just have to kind of do the math or sit down and figure out and make a plan to achieve that goal. And the biggest tip here is you want to make sure that your smaller goals have a deadline. You need to make sure that it's timed so your brain knows like, okay, I can't procrastinate on it. I need to actually get it done. We need to figure out exactly what the strongest motivator is for a human being. There's a lot of research studies that have been done, but most successful people, the biggest motivator for them was they had fear. And the specifics of it is they had a fear of not being enough. There was a short that I watched by Alex Hormozian, and he spoke about basically the 3 different traits. One of them was the superiority complex. They think that they're better than everybody else. They think that they can achieve big goals. That's why we were talking about the big goals a second ago. Second thing is they had a fear of not being enough. You know, they felt like they couldn't achieve those big goals. Even though they had a superiority complex, they felt like they couldn't achieve those goals. That was the second thing. And then the third thing is just impulse control. They knew exactly how to just stay focused. And I love the analogy he gave, but basically what he said is they have a big goal, so there's something in front of them, and then they have something that's propelling them towards that goal, which is the fear, and then they also stay focused so they can go towards that goal. At this point, I realized that I started building momentum. So what you need to start doing is just maintain it. You already built the momentum. You did the hard part. Now you just do the easy part. You know, it's like the snowball effect. Just it keeps getting bigger, you know, but you need to maintain your momentum in that direction. The biggest thing that really helps with maintaining your momentum, from my experience, has been just reminding myself of my why. Like, exactly why am I going through all of this, like, difficulty? Why am I doing all of this? I feel like sometimes whenever you're pushing so hard, you tend to kind of forget exactly the reason why you're, you know, pushing yourself and why this goal is so important to you. And it's in those moments where David Goggins speaks about this, where he says like the 1 second rule. You need to really, in that 1 second, sit down and just ask yourself like, why am I doing all this? And you need to make sure that it's a really strong why, and it's something that's bigger than yourself, because you know, sometimes you just really want to give up or just give in, but it needs to be something big. You know, the bigger it is, the more that you want to keep pushing, the more you want to keep building this momentum. Because again, the hardest part is building the momentum, but to maintain it, it's easy. But again, sometimes maintaining it is where a lot of people fail. So really, that's the 80-20, is ask yourself why you're doing all of this. Here's a quote that I always think about a lot too. It's by Brian Tracy, but it goes like, 1 minute of planning will save you 10 minutes on the execution part. So make sure that you're also planning. You know, sometimes after you build the momentum, maybe your like small goals changed and then you have to update them. And the only way you can do that is by creating a plan. So, you know, make a little plan, you know, maybe spend an hour a day, figure out exactly where you're headed, what you're trying to do, because that 1 hour will save you 10 hours. And I really think that planning is valuable and it really has changed my life. So please make sure you do your planning. It really does help, but also make sure you take action too. That's where the things actually get accomplished. That's basically it for this video, to be honest, but in the next video, I'm going to be speaking about how to time exactly when you're going to be the most productive. So definitely be on the lookout for that, because it's actually backed by science. And I'm going to be speaking about chronotypes. So see you guys in that video.